Hi, my name is Chaveli Guzman. I'm a photographer, I'm a writer, I'm a videographer, but above all, I'm a storyteller. Ever since I was little, I've loved stories. People would tell me that when I was a baby, I could lay for hours, as long as there was a movie in front of me. It wasn't until I was older that I realized what drew me to loving movies so much. It wasn't really the fact that I love movies, it was the fact that I loved the stories being told in them. Apart from hearing stories from movies, one of my favorite things to do was to talk to people. I don't know why I remember this. I remember, and TJ Maxx and Marshalls, they used to have a series of chairs in the front of the store, and I remember while my mom was checking out, I would sit there and wait for her, and there would be these elderly women, for some reason, always sitting in those chairs, and I remember talking to them and asking them about their day, and then it kind of, one basic surface question led to hearing about their grandchildren or hearing about their story, where they came from. By them telling their story, it made their day, it brought a smile to their face, and apart from that, I learned something different. I learned a new perspective. But the coolest part about having these conversations with people at such an early age was I learned that power of human connection. I learned how we are so alike. Though our stories are different, our journeys and the different steps we take in our life are so different. We're so connected by different feelings like love or passion, sadness and loss. These are things we all go through, and stories bind us together. At a young age, I was figuring out how powerful it was to tell a story. As I got older, my intake of storytelling kind of changed, because then obviously I learned how to read, and reading was this new discovery for me, because it was, this sounds funny, but to me it was like watching a movie, but obviously in a book, and I know a lot of people say that, but it was such a unique way to take in stories. From reading came my passion for photography. I loved the idea of preserving and capturing a moment to hold on to forever. When I was a senior in high school, I received my first DSLR camera. It was a Canon Rebel T3, and I remember when I got it, that's kind of when everything took off. With my simple, basic camera with the kit lens, I was off. I was taking pictures of everything. So I started doing family photography in 2015, and I started my own business, Chaveli Photography. As I grew my photography business, as my photography business expanded from family photography to portrait photography to business photography, wedding photography, I became more in touch with stories again. For the first time in my life, after consuming stories through books, movies, YouTube, magazines, newspapers, I was contributing to telling stories, and I was doing so through photography. The summer going into my sophomore year, no, I'm sorry, that was going into my junior year of college, I applied for the USF Oracle, the student paper at the University of South Florida, and I became, in the fall of 2017, I became the multimedia editor. And I am so grateful for that experience, because not only have these people helped mold me as a writer, but as a photographer, as a videographer, and they introduced me to a new passion and a new field I never considered myself being able to go into, and that is journalism. I have such a deep passion for journalism now, because not only can I use my photography to tell a story, but I can merge photography, videography, and my writing to capture a story in full. My dream is to be a journalist and tell compelling stories about people and share that story through my photography and through my writing and through my videography. It has been an incredible journey discovering this passion, because it all started with storytelling. It all started with falling in love with the way a story made you feel, with how a story has this power to make you act, to make you think about things differently. Stories have such a deep power because they connect us with one another. They make us feel. They make us change the way we view the world. And above all, it demonstrates the power of human connection. It demonstrates the power of being able to understand someone who you didn't understand before. It connects us, it brings us together. And as a storyteller, that's my goal. For years, I've been writing almost like a mission statement in notebooks and pages on the top of my agenda and the bottom of my assignments, just to keep me going so I don't forget how much stories mean to me. And that mission statement is, I'm a photographer, I'm a writer, I'm a videographer, I'm a storyteller. I believe in the power of stories, but above all, I believe in the power of people.